and welcome back to Farawa. Today I will be going through 20 plus fantasy inspired hairstyles. I've given some fantasy related names to each of these and then below a little description of the technical terms. These hairstyles can be done with either middle or side part. I'm just showing them with side part for the first half of the video. First off, we're going to start with what I call the weaver, which is a rope half crown. Starting at the top near the forehead, grab two sections of hair and twist them around each other. Then, on the lower section of hair, grab more hair and twist that over the top section before bringing the top section down as well. Continue adding more hair to the sections as you twist them around until you reach enough to wrap around the back of your head. Pull the braid behind your head and pin it with a bobby pin. Our second hairstyle I am calling the village maiden. It's also very simple, and it's a twisted crown. Take a bit of hair from either side of your forehead, twist it slightly inward, and wrap it around to the back of your head to pin in place. Here you can see the two versions, one version with a side part and the other with a middle part. This one is really quick and has been my go-to hairstyle for much of the year. Next up, I'm calling the mermaid, which is an accent braid or a half crown accent braid. Grab a small section of hair at the top of your forehead and just braid it all the way down. So I'm braiding it all the way to the end and securing with a hair tie, and you could just leave it like that. I think that the single braid looks really nice. There's also an example if you could do it lower on your head, which I will show later. For a different hairstyle, in just a few seconds, pin the braid to the back of your head and you've got another look. This next one is called the wood nymph. It's two face framing accent braids. All that you have to do is take another section of hair from the other side of your forehead and braid that as well. There you have your two face framing braids. This next one I am calling the young princess. It's just because it's a braided crown, so I guess it reminded me of royalty. All that you have to do is take the two braids that you did for the face framing braids, take out the hair ties, and pin the braids to the back of your head. This next one I'm calling the Elven archer, which is actually inspired by Katniss Everdeen. I'd wear this hairstyle all the time in middle school. So start at one side of your forehead. This one is better for a side part, but I guess you could do it either way. Start at the top of your forehead at one side of the side part, and we're going to be doing a Dutch braid. It's a French braid in reverse, so you're going to, instead of taking the outer parts of the braid and putting them over into the middle, you're going to be putting them under into the middle. I don't know if I'm really explaining it right, but hopefully you can see. As you braid, you're going to be gathering more hair so that it's going to be a close braid to the head. Secure it with a hair tie once you reach about your ear. And start on the other side of the part with your Dutch braid all the way down the back of the head, going under and into the middle, grabbing more hair the whole time. Then you're going to undo the hair tie of the other braid and start weaving that in. And I pulled out a little bit of face framing hair and that's what it looks like. Moving on to the Woodland Queen, which is a Dutch wrap braid bun. For this one, just follow the steps for the last hairstyle, take the braid and twist it into a circle like you would a normal bun. Tuck the end underneath so it's not visible and pin it in place. It's very simple once you get the first part done. I also liked adding little clips or pins or a little bit of decoration, which makes it look a little more fancy. My bobby pins are metal, and I have magnetic butterflies that will stick to metal for decoration, and I tried it here, but as you could see, it didn't really work. Next up, we have the Meadow Maiden, which is a braided headband. I've never done this hairstyle before this point, and I actually really liked it. Grab a section of hair by one of your ears. Try to push off the sections more to the top and just grab like the lower section by your ear. Braid that all the way down. I'm not really sure what this is called, but I'm making the braid bigger and wider by pulling at the sides of the braid. And just pull it over. Make a part near your other ear, stick the braid behind your ear and pin it in place. For a slightly different look, you can take some sections of hair by either side of your forehead and pull it to the back, twisting slightly inward and pinning it behind your head, just like the village maiden hairstyle with the twisted crown. Also, like I said earlier, you can do a lower accent braid, and pretty much in a few seconds, just by unpinning the headband braid, you have yourself a side accent braid. This next one, the Forest Traveler with 2 low accent braids. I am switching my part to the middle, but of course these hairstyles can be done with either. I'm grabbing a bit of hair from right beneath my ear and braiding that all the way down and securing it with a hair tie. Then I'm doing the same with the other side. This next one I'm calling the Knight, which is going to be a braid wrapped low ponytail. It's extremely simple if you just follow the steps for the previous hairstyle by braiding a section of hair beneath each ear. Just take those sections, pull them back, and wrap them over and beneath the hair, which will form into a low ponytail if you pull it, like I'm showing here, and flip your hair over and secure it beneath so you don't see the ends. And here is what it looks like. I also think it looks good if you pull out a few face framing hairs on either side of your forehead. Here we have the Forest Warrior, which is a low bun with 2 accent braids. Take your accent braids from the previous 2 hairstyles and pull them in front while you make a messy bun in the back. You can just leave them as they are, or you can tuck them into the hair tie, forming a loop near the back of your head on either side. This is the Noble Elf, what I'm calling braided levels, just rope braids twisted in a sort of pretty much rope crowns. So start off by making 2 rope braids on either side of your forehead and tying them with a hair tie in front. Then if you pull that over, you will have 1 level of a rope braid, and you can just leave it like that. But we're going to go a bit more complicated. Make 2 more rope braids a tiny bit lower down and secure them in front with a hair tie. Then pull both over and you have a slightly more complicated system of rope braids behind your head. Now you're going to make one more set of rope braids a bit lower than the previous and secure them in front, pull them over, and there you have your 3 levels of rope braids forming crowns behind your head. If you want to add a little bit of a different style, take the lowest rope braid, bring it up, and attach it to where the middle rope braid is, and then you have sort of like loops almost that drape beneath. Now for the water nymph, which is extremely simple if you just followed the previous hairstyle. Take the highest set of braids from the levels and pull it back over the top and take out the hair ties, and they will frame your face while the other 2 braids are still in back, forming a nice rope crown. Here is the fairy queen, a full braid crown. I have done one before where it actually crosses the entire back of my head, but this one is a bit easier. Like before, you're going to Dutch braid down either side of your head, except you're not going to stop at a certain point. You're going to go all the way down to the end, and you could leave it like that or put it up in buns, and I think that looks really sweet, but we're going to go a bit different. Take one of the braids, wrap it over the top of your head like with the headband braid, pin it to the hair. Then take the other braid and wrap it next to the other one, pinning the ends beneath each braid so you don't see them, and if anything sticks out, just use some more pins. Again, I took out some face framing hairs so it wasn't so organized and looked a little more wild, I guess. Alright, moving on to the Herbalist, which is braid wrapped braids. Divide your hair in half all the way down to the back and grab 2 sections of hair on either side in the middle of the side of your head, and just put those up however. Leaving out a few face framing hairs, now braid each side of the hair left that is not up. We'll be doing a fishtail for this, but you can do however braid you want. A fishtail is basically split the section in half and take small sections from the outside of the hair and bring them to the middle. So instead of using 3 main sections of hair that you're braiding, you're just taking small sections from either side, alternating, and bringing them to the middle and under and over like how you would do a normal braid. There are more instructions you can find online more clearly than I am explaining. So repeat the fishtail braid on the other side, and you can make it a bit bigger by pulling on it. Take down the hair that you had put up and just braid that. Then braid that also on the other side. Next, what you're going to do is take the smaller braid and wrap it around the bigger braid and secure it at the bottom. Then repeat on the other side. And that's it. And last up for this video is going to be the Willow Maiden, which is a braid crown bun. So follow the steps to the previous hairstyle, and this is really easy because all you have to do is take the 2 braids and just cross them over and tuck them through in a simple knot, then tuck the ends into each other and pin them down. That's it. That's all it is. I think it looks pretty nice and woodland, and that is what we have for today. If you would like to see more videos, we have some here, and if you would like to subscribe, you can do that here also. We hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.